pressure me about being a witness. It can be discouraging.
You know, you're not the only one. There's probably a million brothers and sisters that at some time have suffered that. But you know, I think in our lesson today, there's a couple of scriptures that might help you. Let's go to lesson 8 of our brochure, and then in paragraph 8, can you read that?
Yeah. Satan uses his power to promote immoral, harmful practices. When we reject such practices, some friends and relatives may ridicule or oppose us. So we face a choice. Will we associate with people who love God? Will we obey his wise and loving laws? If we do, we prove that Satan lied when he claimed that under pressure, no one would do as God says.
That's good. There's a few scriptures here. The first one is 1 Peter chapter 4, verses 3 and 4. Can you read that for us?
1 Peter chapter 4, verse 3 and 4. Okay. For the time that has passed by is sufficient for you to have done the will of the nations when you carried on in acts of brazen conduct, unbridled passions, overdrinking, wild parties, drinking bouts, and lawless idolatries. They are puzzled that you do not continue running with them in the same decadent course of debauchery. So they speak abusively of you.
That's right. You know, it covered a lot of things in that scripture. It also talked about drinking. By the way, do you drink?
Sure, I'm a social drinker, but I'm not a drunkard.
Oh, glad to know that. You know, if you think about it, your friends, do they want you different from them?
No, they give me a hard time for wanting to be different all of a sudden.
That's right. And you know, there's another scripture here. Let's read that one too. 1 Corinthians 6, 9, and 10. Can you read that when you find it?
1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 9 and 10. Or did you not know that unrighteous people will not inherit God's kingdom? Do not be misled. Those who are sexually immoral, idolaters, adulterers, men who submit to homosexual acts, men who practice homosexuality, thieves, greedy people, drunkards, revilers, and extortioners will not inherit God's kingdom.
That's
I actually have an uncle who's gay.
Oh, well, you know, I didn't know that. Well, you know, as Jehovah's Witnesses, you know, many people, they oppose us, or they might even label us as being too restrictive, or not very diversified. But as you read this scripture here, whose command is it, and where did this come from?
It says God's kingdom. So, our Creator?
That's right, exactly. There's one more scripture in 1 Corinthians, since we're there. Let's turn over to chapter 15, and can you read verse 33 for us?
1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 33. Do not be misled. Bad associations spoil useful habits.
It's very simple there. But did you notice what connection there is between our associations and our habits?
Yeah. I want to praise Jehovah, not Satan. So some of these friends have to go.
That's right. You know, Carlos, you made the right choice. We're so glad you're part of our congregation. And you know, since we're talking about association, you remember last year, a bunch of us brothers, we got together for pizza and beer night?
How can I forget?
Yeah. Now, when your Bible teacher comes back, maybe we can ask him, maybe we can arrange another one, huh?
That sounds great.
Okay.